for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has warned Nigerians to be cautious when taking cup of tea, popularly known as mai shayi, from vendors. Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, NAFDAC Director General, gave the warning in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, on Monday in Abuja. Adeyeye said that the following became necessary following information the agency received that mai shayi now mix intoxicating drugs in the tea prepared for customers. She mentioned intoxicating drugs such as tramadol, Vietling, marijuana, and others, adding that people could lose their lives after taking tea mixed with such drugs. In the US, lots of people are dying because of these medicines. How can such medicines mix with palm wine in the name of getting high in Nigeria? There are some medicines you cannot take if you have cardiovascular problems, she said. The Director General said that the agency was working towards collaborating with the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development to check for quality medicine in orthodox and herbal. According to her, the idea is necessary since NIPRD specializes on research and the purpose is to safeguard health of the nation. She, however, called on the people to desist from harmful medicine in the name of power enhancement in whatever area they think of. We are going further. We want a central drug lab to be World Health Organization pre-qualified. We are raising our bar higher, she said. Adeyeye said that it will continue to sensitize people against the drugs and believe that within the year, the agency would get the WHO pre-qualified central drug lab. That is the news for today, guys. What NAFDAC is saying is that Nigerians should be careful of what they consume. That these teas these Hausa men are selling, they are spiking them with tramadol, even marijuana and other hard drugs. And that when you ingest this tea, it is harmful to the health. But why would a normal person start putting tramadol inside tea that they want to sell to people? But the thing is not about warning Nigerians. It's if NAFDAC has made a solution to this problem, because if they don't do anything about this, people continue selling these teas. They should find the people that are selling these teas and apprehend them. They should take care of this issue because they know the people that are selling these teas. They should stop telling us to be warned, because Nigerians will not stop buying tea. They won't. And also, not just tea. These Hausa traders that sell food stuff, they use pesticides as preservatives. Can you imagine? Stockfish, they'll be using pesticides to preserve it. So all these things they do is harmful to the health. I don't know if they are ignorant or if they are doing it on purpose. But whatever motive they have, is not for us. So the government should try and look into all these type of issues. They should try and look into it. And Nigerians self, well, they are not cautious of what they consume. Because of this meat issue that we refuse to stop consuming, that is why the Fulani herdsmen still have power over us. Because of meat. Same thing everywhere. So the agency should look into this matter very well. Make proper investigations and not just focusing on tea. It is not only tea that's not the only source of the problem. There are other sources of problem. So guys, that is my opinion on this. Please leave your comment down in the comment section down below. Moving on to the next news. Lawmakers to get INEC's electoral reforms proposal. A far-reaching electoral reform proposal has been prepared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to guide future elections beginning from 2023. The proposal is an upgrade on the 24-point amendment submitted to the 8th National Assembly, which they failed to consider because of the crisis of confidence between the lawmakers and the executive. Top on the list of new proposals, which INEC will likely submit to the National Assembly at the end of this month for consideration and passage, is the reduction in the number of political parties, greater room for INEC to control collation and returning officers, using number of accredited voters to determine outcome of polls. This will eliminate inconclusive election, among others. The amendments were arrived at during the multi-stakeholders review session on the 2019 elections. Investigations showed that INEC is concerned about the uncontrolled number of mainly weak and non-existent political parties and candidates on the ballot paper, which has led to economic waste. For instance, about 65% of the 84 million ballot papers printed for the last general election were burnt, because only 35% of the ballot papers were used by accredited voters. A source who spoke in confidence said, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu and his team had been working round the clock on how to sanitize the electoral system. The fears of INEC border on the attitude of politicians who have always frustrated ideas put forward to prevent rigging. This is it on the news. So INEC wants to make electoral reforms, but is it possible? Can they actually make changes? Because now the people that are causing this rigging during election is all these corrupt politicians, and then nothing is being done to them after the election. So how are they going to stop? How are they going to make changes? Is it about making electoral reforms when during election you see children going to vote, you see evidence that children voted in this area, and yet you come out and say so billion people voted here? It's not right. It does not make any sense. So now they want to be using the number of accredited voters to check the outcome of polls. So since they've been doing elections, they've not been using it. And then they will come out and be telling us this person won this place. So how are they not knowing the information? How are they not getting it right? Are they trying to say that previous elections are not credible and it's not free and fair? So what is the purpose of this reform? Are they trying to tell us now that they've not been doing well since? Because if you look at it, when they check the outcome of this polls, they see that the number of accredited voters is less than the amount of people that voted, and yet they still conclude and give that state number of people that voted. They still say that state is the winner, this one is the winner. They still come out and give us outcome of the polls. So you can see where it all went wrong. Them trying to refund it is not really my concern, because I'm hoping that by 2023 Nigeria will be restructured, so that we'll know the kind of elections we have, and we'll do free and fair elections, because I don't think it's possible, because these corrupted leaders, they are still there. So there's no need. Even if they reform it, they'll still find a way to manipulate anything they want to manipulate. The North will not change its method of electoral system. They won't change it. They'll still use all those children, all those beggars to vote. So there's no need for this electoral reform. It's saying they want to change the way they want to do things, but then they should first of all check out the issue of the corrupted politicians. It's unfortunate that the agency that is supposed to be chasing after these corrupted politicians, they are just doing what their commander is telling them to do. They are not going after the right people. They are just following people they don't like. So how are they now going to know the corrupt politicians? They can change if they want. If they can locate all these corrupt politicians, and then during elections put proper security enough that will guide the people that are doing all these election processes, then make sure that there are cameras wherever they are doing this election process to monitor them, so that the public can see it, so we can see as people are voting. It should be live. Nigeria can do that. It is not going to be a difficult task for them, because then that is the only way we can have free and fair election in Nigeria. And it's even possible they can still manipulate the camera. So no one. They should just fight the corrupt politicians and all these other parties that don't have say, that they are just using to fill up the gap. All these unknown parties, they should remove them, because in Nigeria we know we only have two parties, which is APC and PDP. These two parties will not give way for other parties, and we know that is true. So they should make new laws that is going to protect the citizens when they are going to vote, and that is also going to guide them if they want a free and fair election. Because this opinion of making electoral reforms is not going to help any case if they are not actually going to do anything about it. Because it is one thing to say you want to do something, and it's another thing to do it. If election time comes now, what they are saying today will be a different thing entirely. All these things they say they'll all these changes they say they will make, they will not do it again. No. All those ones will become story, and then they will conduct elections that are not credible. Among themselves, there's even mistrust. So the thing is that the corruption has eaten deep into the INEC, into the government. So it's going to be hard to have free and fair elections. Seriously, it's going to be really, really hard. So now the main purpose of them doing this electoral reforms is so that Nigerians can have free and fair elections. But is it possible? Are they even credible enough when there's mistrust between them? Are they saying that they are blind, that they've not seen that during past elections, they see these politicians and their henchmen, they come to election ground and they share money? They will say they don't used to see that one. Or they are saying they do not see, they don't know that in the north, children vote, or they don't know the amount of registered voters or what. Election is now a joke in Nigeria, because when you're going to vote, your vote doesn't count. They already have their own machines that do what they want to do. They already have their own machines that say who will win. The corrupt politicians are the ones behind this. And since they cannot do anything about these corrupt politicians, there's no need making electoral reforms, because they're just wasting their time. All this preparation for 2023 elections, they're just wasting their energy. Because by that time, hopefully, Nigeria will be restructured, to be disintegrated, because we don't have a country where we can rely on the government to do things right for us. No. If they want to talk about free and fair elections, they should not even bother themselves. By the time they finish dealing with these corrupt politicians, then they can come out and say, yes, they want to do free and fair elections. Until then, they should not bother themselves with electoral reform. That is just the truth. So guys, I need your opinion.